Thought I would just jump on here to talk to you before I get out the car, because I've come to Bristol today. Obviously going to do some exploring in the terms of geocaching. Some of the places that I've got on my to-do list I've not been to before, so that's going to be fun. I wanted to come on here really quickly because I thought it'd be easier just to kind of do my intro, talk about this video really quickly whilst I was in the car park in the car, because obviously Bristol, it's obviously a city and it's probably going to be really busy today as it's the run up to Christmas now. Although it's Wednesday, it's midweek, it doesn't always count for a lot, to be honest, but it's probably still going to be quieter than it would be on the weekends. The weather isn't that great. Whether or not that's gonna hinder or aid me, I don't know just yet. Obviously I'm going to get wet regardless, but if it means keeping the muggles away, then who knows, it might help. So on my to-do list, if I've got time to get it all done, as well as getting the stuff I need to get for Christmas from the shops, I'm going to try and do an earth cache. I'll try and keep it really quick, but an earth cache isn't a physical container to go and find. You go to a posted coordinates, and the cache owner who set up the earth cache wants you to answer some questions about the geology. It's usually about the rocks, how they're formed, or just something along those lines, just to kind of prove that you've been there. Maybe take a photo, estimate heights, whatever. It looks quite a simple one. I'm not very good at earth caches, so we'll give it a go. Then I've got some normal some traditional caches. They're just go to the location, the coordinates, find the box, sign, and done. That's the ones you've probably seen me doing the most, because they're just easy, especially when you've got kids. So those two hopefully should take me to churches of St. Paul's and St. John's. And then I'm going to go and attempt a Wherigo, which I'll try and explain. I'm not very good at explaining. So a Wherigo is almost like a game. You have to download this cartridge via an app, and you play it. It gives you step by step, so it gives you little places to go. I haven't done many of them, to be honest. I can't. And the ones I have done have been good. They've been good fun. You follow these steps, and you work your way through kind of this story sort of thing until the very end, which then you find the final container, and again you'll sign the log and replace it, and then you'll be able to log it on the Wherigo, and then you'll be able to log it on the geocaching app. So then I'm gonna hopefully do a virtual, which is going to take you around a couple of old clocks. I can't remember if I talked about virtuals before. If not, so virtuals are, you go to a location. Again, it is just a virtual cache, so there's no physical container to find. You won't need to sign anything, but you will have to answer a question. Sometimes they like to ask you to have a picture of some kind, maybe just part of your body, the thumbs up, or your GPS. But I used to be afraid I don't have dedicated GPS for geocaching. Hopefully it's kind of giving you just a little highlight of what we're going to do. I'll show you a couple of snippets. Don't know if you just saw that then. A bit of, was it fluff? Probably fluff. I don't know where it's gone now. How weird. Bit of fluff. Probably one of the cat's fluff, to be fair. Probably made it looked like it was white. So it's probably Maisie's fluff, my cat. I got two. Anyway, I'm waffling again. I'm so sorry. Right. So I'm going to take you around Bristol. Hopefully get some of these geocaches done, and yeah. So I hope you like a little look around Bristol, and I hope you enjoyed the whole geocaching trip. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the flip side, I suppose. I never know how to end these little introductions, but here we go. Let's take you around. Hi, so you're probably wondering why I'm recording inside. Obviously, normally my channel is all about being outdoors and out and about and exploring, but the Bristol video, I wasn't able to give you as much information. I wasn't able to give you any information actually whilst I was out and about yesterday. It was so busy, and I was getting funny looks as it was, just showing you the places that I had gone to. So I felt quite uncomfortable to vlog at the same time. So what I've done, hopefully I'll try to keep it really quick and brief so it's not too much of a waffle. I have a handy little notebook. I've written down some little highlights, that like key facts, not too many, but just a little summary, I suppose, of each of the places that I went to, just so you could kind of get an idea of what the history was there, because Bristol's got so much, and I feel like I've only just scratched the surface with Bristol. I'm doing it all via geocaching as well. So I hope you enjoy me giving you the information of the places that I went to. So what I'm going to do is I will show you the snippets that I recorded around Bristol, and then I will then tell you about Bristol, that area of Bristol, sorry, where I went to, and a little bit of information. So hopefully it will all kind of break up nicely, rather than just one massive monologue, I suppose, of facts, because otherwise it just might not make sense, because you might not know what place is what and what was going on. Hopefully I will try and label each part as well, so you know where I'm at as well. So hopefully it all makes sense, and hopefully I can piece it together all nicely for you. I'm still getting to grips with all this YouTube stuff, but I hope you do like it. So let's go. So let's start with our first stop, which was the Earth Cache. This took me outside Cabot Circus to the outer walls. Now it's decorated with Portland stone, which is a sedimentary rock, and on the rock itself, and the Portland stone, you can see it's just full of fossils, three different types of fossils, but it's just absolutely covered. So that was really fascinating to see these different types of fossils there. I won't go into too much information on this because geology isn't quite my strong suit. I don't normally do earth caches, but the fossils were just fascinating. So you should go and check it out. If you next to go to Cabot Circus, go outside near the main road, just walk around and just look up, and you'll see like the yellowish Portland stone, and you'll see the fossilised, like shells and stuff, fossilised stones, the Portland screws, I think they were called. I can't remember what the other twos were called. But yeah, go check it out, because that's, you know, especially if you've got children who are interested in fossils and stuff, that's great to look at as well. So the next stop was to St Paul's Church, which was one of the normal caches. St Paul's Church is in St Paul's of Bristol. The area got its name from the church, so the church was named first. The church was built in the 1790s, and then the church closed in 1988 after it fell into disuse and disrepair. Fast forward to 2005, it was then renovated, a lot of work was done to it. It got some grants, I can't remember where from, sorry, I didn't actually write that down, but it got a lot of work, and now it's home to a circus school. So my third stop was the Wherigo cache, which mainly focuses on St. Peter's Church. The church now stands partly ruined after it was caught up in the Bristol Blitz in the 1940s. It now stands as a memorial to the soldiers who died in the war, and there's just so much information here. The Wherigo cache took you round the church and the surrounding areas, and there's just lots of bits and pieces that you can learn from medieval times to quite recently to when the Second World War was here and to its present day. So St. Peter's Church is situated in Castle Park. Castle Park has got its name because it was the home for Bristol's first ever church, and that was recorded in 1088. The castle was demolished in the 1600s, and it's definitely worth a visit to find out more information about the castle, about the area, and it's kind of like timeline from when it was a castle to when it became to when it was knocked down, and then when it came like a shopping kind of street, and then when it was then revamped and destroyed in the war, and to its present state. It's really fascinating. And there's a plaque as well. If I remember rightly, I don't think I recorded it, but there is a nice a mosaic kind of plaque to stand as a memorial for those who volunteered and then died in the Spanish Civil War. So it's great. It's a great location. Even if you just go to one place in Bristol, I would recommend Castle Park and just check it out and look at all the information that was there. So the fourth stop was a traditional cache, and this takes us to St. John's Church, which is a church built into the Bristol walls. It's now the only one remaining. There was originally five churches that was built up into the Bristol walls, which would have acted as a defence, and they were built around about the 14th century, and it was a place for travellers to come to offer their prayer before they went off and onto their travels. And it was fascinating to see how it was built in and kind of just blends into the city, and the fact that it is the last one standing. So now we're at our fifth and final stop, the virtual cache, and I found this one really fascinating. It takes us to two different stages. So stage one takes us to the Old Market building clock, which was built in 1822. Sorry, I'm just referring to my notes just to make sure I get it all right. So what you will notice on this clock is that instead of having two hands, like a normal clock that we know, it has three hands. So you've got two hands for minutes, and you've got two red hands and one black hand. So you've got one red hand for one of the minutes and black for another lot of minutes, and they're set exactly 10 minutes apart. Now, the reason for this was it was almost like, I guess you could say, Bristol had its own little time zone. So for example, when it was noon, 12 o'clock in Bristol, in GMT terms, the rest of the UK, Greenwich Mean Time, it is 10 past 12. It's all linked to do with the railway and the trains and stuff. But I did record, hopefully, if you want to read it properly, get some really good information, pause the video, go back, pause the video, and then read what that information poster said, because it was really fascinating. So then it takes us, so after that I had to get some information from that poster to then pop in to the coordinates. Mine went blank then. So then I went for, then it takes us to a different, stage two. There's a 10-minute walk away from this, and then it takes us to this. So this is the first electric regulated clock, which is for Bristol, which was built in 1852, and this is the GMT time, not the Bristol time. And that's all I got from that. It was just, you know, it's the first electric clock for Bristol. So that was, you know, it's not much information, I'm afraid, but, you know, it was still quite a fascinating place to go to. So that's pretty much everything, I think. Hopefully I've managed to give some facts and figures and stuff and showed you a little bit of a highlight of Bristol. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it wasn't too long for you, and you know, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, you know, what else everyone says at the end of these YouTube videos, because I never know how to summarise or end this, but you know, until next time, I suppose. That sounds really cheesy, doesn't it? Until next time. Oh goodness. How do you end these videos? See you on the next video? And I'm not going to see you though, am I? Anyway, I'm probably waffling. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you, you know, like to watch some more in the future. Who knows what's going to come up next? Probably more crazy faces. Bye. Thank you for watching.